Hello there, Libra. How are you today? Let's do a general reading on you and check to see what messages you need to hear. Let's get started. All right, now remember that this is a timeless reading and you are here when you're meant to be here. And there is something in this video that you're supposed to hear, some sort of message that you can use and apply in your current situation. Okay, let's go and add one more here. Perfect. All right, bottom of the deck, we've got King of Swords. So you are in kind of a leadership mode right now, and very analytical, very logical, and also very fair. You know, that's the nice part about the King of Swords, is that they aren't too much led by emotions. They're not swayed by influence from the outside, right? Because they are very logical. So I love that. I love that. But the other thing that you have to worry about with the King of Swords is sometimes they can come off as being very emotionally detached. So you might want to pay attention to that in case somebody calls you on it and says, you just don't give me any kind of love. Well, maybe that might be it. You know, it's just because you have that energy in you that's a little bit powerful, you know, or kind of strong, right? So not bottom of the deck here. First card, you've got the King of Wands. Oh my goodness. So you've got two very strong leadership type cards. So again, you are coming in very logical, very analytical, but also we've got the King of Wands that's a visionary. You know, and something is telling me here that maybe some of you are about to start a new business or a new company, something like that, which is perfect when you have the combination of the King of Swords and the King of Wands, right? And you run your own company, or you're starting your own company. The great part about this is you have the energy, the boldness, the daring side of the King of Wands, very optimistic as well. You can go in and come in and, you know, talk about your sales pitch, and it'll, you know, they're going to be so attracted to what you have to say. But also you're incredibly intelligent, like the King of Swords, and you're very logical and analytical. And if they start asking you questions about your product, you're able to, you know, just come up with the true answers, and you're very logical, very organized. That's wonderful. So if you are here for career, that's a beautiful thing, right? So you've undergone a major transformation recently. So, you know, if you've quit your job or moved or something like that, something in your life has happened that's caused you to undergo a major transformation here, which is obviously influencing this leadership quality that you have, and it's going to work out in your favor. So whatever has happened in the past, before you underwent this transformation, you really went within. You took a break from everything, probably checked out, and some people may have said that you ghosted them or something like that, but we all know that we all need that time of rest, right? You checked out, you went within, and what happened was you got in touch with the divine, your higher self, and with that came the transformation, right? And it allowed you to obtain or kind of build up that energy. And if you're leaving a company, for example, or starting your own business, that kind of pushed you over the edge, and you realized, okay, I'm doing it, right? I have the energy, I have the knowledge. I'm going to put all of my efforts into making this successful. You know, here, the universe is trying to tell you, just make sure that you have balance, right? Maintain balance, because this is such powerful energy, right? Because the kings are the masters of their suit. And so you have to pay attention to the negative aspects of these cards whenever they're combined like that. Sometimes that can come off too much to some people, and it can kind of push them away. So if you're starting a new business, be aware that you are coming in so strongly, right? You're coming in with such power, and your presence is obvious to most people. So you have to make sure you temper that, right? That's why you have the Temperance card here. You have to balance that. Keep it in moderation, right? Because you have to kind of almost feel your way around new clients, for example. So here, this individual can come in with too much ego, right? Too bold, too daring, that they're not thinking about consequences. They're just going to go in there full bore. And you've got the King of Swords that's overly serious, overly authoritative, unyielding, right? So we have to temper that. Just be aware of those energies that might kind of get in your way, right? And also, universe is trying to tell you, have faith, right? Because everything's going to work out in your favor. Just do the thing that you do and do it well. We'll take care of the rest. So I'm really excited to have that card in that position for you, Libra. This is great. Wow. You've got the Wheel of Fortune. So everything you are working on right now, right? Anything that you're pursuing right now in your life, whether it's a romantic thing or a career thing, something in your family and your marriage, whatever it is, it's going to work out in your favor, right? Because you're going to have change, and you already have change with the Death card here. You've transformed, but because that transformation was working so well for you, you've got the Wheel of Fortune here, so that luck is on your side and everything is going to change. So here you've got the Seven of Wands. This is just kind of telling us that you're having to defend your position, right? So again, if your strong qualities here get a little bit too much to the point where it works against you, people may fight you, right? People may fight you, and then you're now defending your position. No, I'm not, I'm not egotistical. No, I'm not emotionally detached, right? You're now defending yourself. The other thing that this can be also is I'd like you to be aware that maybe some people may want what you have, right? Because if you're so bold and you're a visionary and you can really create product and you're so just genuine with your delivery, right? And people are attracted to you and you know your stuff, other people may feel you to be a threat, may see you as a threat, and they may go after you, right? Sometimes, people are just strange like that, the energies that they put out. So just be aware of that. Be aware that sometimes people might, go after you because you have something that they want. All right, you've got the Nine of Cups. This is beautiful. You've got the luck here, the that you need. So if you're starting something new, right, and using the energy of the King, look at what's happening. You've got the Nine of Cups. This is wish fulfillment. Whatever you have put your heart into, it's going to work out in your favor. You have that luck. This tells me here that you are recalling things from the past, right? Everything you've learned. If you're starting a new business, for example, if you have learned something from the past, something from your old job or something like that, you're applying it and you're reminiscing. You're also reminiscing, the good times, right? And somebody from your past may come forward as well. So this can all apply to any aspect of your life, right? This can apply to your marriage. This can apply to friendship, new partnerships, new jobs, right? So here you may be reminiscing and thinking about your old job or something like that, something good or something you learned from it. Here you've got the Sun card. How beautiful. Look at this, right? You've taken the rest. You're now bold, and because you've transformed, you're checking things, making sure that you are remaining balanced. You're taking that momentum and from the change and the luck that's behind you. And now you've got optimism. I mean, everything is going to work out in your favor. You have these two very powerful cards here. You have luck and you have just the sun. The sun is creation. The sun is everything. This is about optimism. This is about clarity and knowledge and production of something new, creation of something new and fruitful. I love it. This is great for you. Yeah, you have more inspiration coming your way. So whatever it is that kick-started, this transformation, this movement that's going on here from the past, like I said, if you're starting your own job, starting your own business, taking on a new career, maybe you're going back to school, something like that, you've got new inspiration, new spark, right? And you're going to run with this spark and you are going to make something good out of it. This is going to work in your favor, right? So here you've walked away from something that's not serving you. If you're with a company, for example, that doesn't value your vision, your hard work and your intelligence, you've decided, I've outgrown that place. I'm out. I'm going to go start my own thing because I have this new opportunity, this new spark, this new inspiration. I know I'm going to be successful no matter what I do. And you will be. Look at all these beautiful major arcanas here that are really helping you out. Look at that, the Hermit card. Yeah, see, this goes together. The Hermit card is someone that's gone into isolation for a little bit, kind of reflected on everything. So again, if you've left a company, you've kind of taken that time back, learned what you needed to do. Now you're awake and everything is working out in your favor because you now have this new inspired energy and you're making something happen. You're producing something here, right? And it's all going to work in your favor. I love it. This is so good for you, Libra. And again, this can apply to a relationship, right? So something, if you're working on your marriage, for example, this is great. You're reminiscing about the past. You're very hopeful that everything is going to work out. There's new passion. There's new inspiration. And you're realizing the things that no longer work, right, for you. And if you're reconciling with someone, you are now going to leave behind the things that don't serve you. You're going to shine your light and move forward. You're going to share that knowledge that you've learned, right, from your time of introspection, and everything is going to work out in your favor, right? There's momentum here. Knight of Wands. Yeah, you're full of energy, lots of passion. Just be very careful with this because the Knight of Wands, although the Knight of Wands is very courageous, right? Because this is the brave soldier that goes to battle. you know, you want this person to do something for you. They're very enthusiastic and ready to do anything, right? Very adventurous. Just be very careful because sometimes this energy can be powerful, very impulsive. So remember, if you are starting a new business, for example, just be aware of that, right? They can be hot and cold as well. So yeah, Seven of Cups, you're going to have a lot of decisions that you're going to need to make, but here you're going to be indecisive because there are so many options that you need to go, right? So if you're starting a new business, there are so many options, so many directions you can go, and so just don't stay in don't stay in your mind to the point where you're not moving forward, right? You're going to have to choose one of these options that you have being presented to you, right? So just be aware of that. Be aware of all of that. All right, next card here, Nine of Wands. This is you just working your butt off. You are working hard and you're going to persevere, right? Look at where it's landing here. You're going to persevere. Keep going. Don't give up. Use the energy, that spark of inspiration that you have. And look at where it's landing here. You've got the Nine of Cups and also the Sun card, which is, again, it's going to, everything here, it looks like it's going to work in your favor. And Knight of Swords is in the bottom here again. Yeah, right. And let's take a look here at your spirit animal cards here. See what other messages you need to hear. Libra. What does Libra need to know? All right, here we go. Electric Eel Spirit. Bring your ideas to life. Wow. Right? Bring your ideas to life. This is great. And again, this works with the King of Wands too, because they are visionaries, and you're going to work for this. You're going to bring it to life. You're going to come to this wish fulfillment, right? Oh my gosh, so much abundance coming your way. I just saw a bunch of money, you know, coins dropping. That's what I saw. Lots of coins dropping. So if you're starting something new, a new business, it's not going to be easy, but it's gonna work out in your favor. I just heard a bunch of coins dropping, you know, like ching, 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 like that, almost like a casino. Let spirit be your guide. Yeah, let spirit be your guide, right here and right here. This is you getting in touch with your higher self. Listen to your intuition. See the big picture. Yep. See the big picture, because you know the only way you're going to really kind of remove yourself and take this leadership role is to kind of pull away. Don't get so caught up in the minutia that you're stressed out over it, right? So sometimes it's good to just kind of pull back and get a bird's eye view of everything so that you can move forward. Yeah, that's what kings have to do, right? They don't sit there and deal with the minutia. They actually look at their kingdom as a whole and you know, navigate or handle problems that way, you know, by just pulling back. Crow spirit, co-create with spirit. Absolutely, yeah. Spirit is always on your side. Spirit is always guiding you. You have to remember to watch out for signs and synchronicities, anything that is kind of, you know, happening often. If you're hearing a song over and over, for example, you know, there's something in that song. There's a message in that song that you need to hear. Right? There's something in that song that you need to hear, and maybe you need to think about the lyrics or something like that, or maybe something about your past when that song was playing. You know, there's a hint there. So unfortunately, you know, sometimes spirit will work in mysterious ways. So just pay attention to everything that's around you. Okay, Libra, thank you so much for being here. I wish you well. I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Bye-bye.